Today is your day. Today is the day you always wanted because in your life, you only get one chance to do what you want to do. Now, there are people out there who think that they are going to live for a long time. They're going to be able to go from here to there, do all kind of stuff. But you understand one thing: you only get one life. If you're 60 years old, you've lived 60 years, and you've done something. You might have gotten an education. You might have had a family, built a business, done a lot of things. But the point is, the things that you did in the past do not necessarily make your day's experience worthy of celebration. Like, for example, the reason that I am alive today on a physical level is because I sustained myself by what I ate yesterday. Because if I didn't eat yesterday, I'll get weak. And I need to every day continue to nourish my body. So it's not what I ate last week, it's not what I ate last year, it's what I ate yesterday that keeps me alive for tomorrow, in essence and in reality. So if you want to have something and do something, you have to do something today. Study today, learn today, and apply it today. So in life, it's amazing how people think that everything that they see is just a given. Remember when I was a kid, I used to see bodybuilders like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I would see their huge bodies and their muscles, and think to myself, wow, it's amazing how big they are. And I thought that because they had achieved that body, they would maintain it for the rest of their life. But it's not true. They work out every day for multiple hours, some 5, 6, 7 hours a day working out to maintain their body. And they have to eat certain foods. They have to avoid certain foods. They have to rest. There's a lot that has to be done to maintain that body. When you saw Arnold Schwarzenegger, you had to understand that he built himself through hours and hours, years and years of exercise, preparing himself in private to be able to show himself in public. What a champion does, he rehearses, prepares himself, and when he gets on the stage, people say it's so natural. It's a miracle, but it's not. The miracle is preparation, doing what you have to do, doing what you must do, doing what others won't do, because they cannot do what you can do if you put in the effort. And so it's the same thing with someone who is intelligent. They have to study. They have to read. There's someone who I really admire. His name was Miles Monroe. And he was a man who went around the world teaching leadership concepts. And one thing he did in his personal life was he read 2 books a week. He read up to 100 books in order for him to be able to get the idea of what he wanted to do to make a book himself. So imagine that he wanted to write a book, so he would have to read up to 100 books just to get the ideas in his mind that he wanted to put out as being something you would think would be natural. When you heard Miles Monroe speak, you knew he was someone who was educated and ready, prepared, because he prepared himself daily by studying, by rehearsing, by doing what he had to do for years, and continued to hold a very high level all his life. We can all be the same way. So the point is, when you see someone who is successful in doing anything, successful in keeping their body a certain way, keeping their mind a certain way, keeping their family a certain way, keeping their health a certain way, keeping their language skills a certain way, you understand one thing: they have been doing something every day, and they don't put things off. There's someone who I really admire, The Rock. Okay, well, Dwayne Johnson, what he does every single morning, he gets up and he exercises. He exercises for, I think, at least an hour or so. He does an entire workout, and whenever he goes traveling around on his, he does his movies. When he's on location, he has a trailer that he carries with him that has all his workout equipment inside of it that he uses every single day. And he gets up and he works out. And he's about, I believe, 48 this year, and he still looks great. He's big and he's strong, and he knows that his body is his fortune. His body is his tool. His body is what keeps him in the movies and in the public eye and in the public imagination. So he must maintain that body every single day. This is The Rock. Every morning he gets up early and he works out to keep his body strong, keep his body powerful. Doesn't take shortcuts. He knows that he has to work out in order to continue to be The Rock, continue to be a success, continue to live well. So What you gotta do. There's no secret. The secret is that there is no secret. If you want to be something, do something, and have something, you have to be about it every single day. So when you see someone and they're good, you know that that's what they did. They worked out, they've maintained, and they're showing it. Now, I remember someone said that one of the secrets of doing something great is to be able to rehearse it more than anyone would reasonably think would be imaginable. For example, if you see someone on the stage and they're singing or they're acting, or you see someone who is performing a physical act, or like an athlete, then you know that this person who is athletic or is emotionally, connected with what they're doing, they've rehearsed over and over again. And so the thing about rehearsing is when you rehearse, you put in your best and you know that you're going to have a chance to stop and redo again, but you're putting in your best effort. Now, when you get on the stage, when you get on the arena, when you're actually showing it to the world, when you're getting paid for it, then you're going to just come out and do it. It's like when you see someone on a dancing show and they do their routine, they've rehearsed hours and hours and hours. Now, it's that 2-3 minutes they get a chance to really just show it off. And it's in their brain, but they've done it so much and so often and so well that it becomes automatic. So what you think is automatic is really just a response to all the preparation. And so it's important for you to put in that time. If you're doing something that you feel that, I'm just not doing well with this thing, like I'm not doing well with my body or my mental faculties, if you're learning language or learning how to speak, and you say, I'm just not doing it well. Well, reason because you're not putting in the time to rehearse. You're not putting in the time to be motivated and to be excited by someone else. Each one of us has someone who we can look at and say, that person really inspired me. It's like when I think of one of my biggest heroes growing up, Bruce Lee. I think, oh yeah, Bruce Lee, he was a guy who demonstrated martial arts at a very high level, and was considered to be like the king of martial arts. But he had people who he admired too. And his thing was he would try to find anyone to teach him a specific skill that he was wanting to develop, and he would trade with them. Okay, and so what he did was he just sought out the best, and so people in the industry during his time knew him as someone who wanted to not only teach but to learn, and he did at a very high level. And so it's important for us not to think that we are so great that we can't ask for help, that we can't read a book, that we can't, go to someone and say, help me to get better with this here. Bruce Lee worked hard to develop his body, develop his skill. And when people saw him, they were amazed at how strong he was, how fast he was, how proficient he was in what he was doing. But he knew that he had to put in the effort every single day to show himself to the world, to be strong, to be fast, to be powerful. So whenever he appeared on the screen, you knew he was the real thing. Like, for example, there are many football players who have learned ballet so they can learn to be more graceful and have more flexibility. And so that's the secret. The secret of doing something great is being able to find another way of doing it and doing it better than anyone else, or doing it more than anyone would reasonably expect you to be able to do it. I remember, of course, Tony Robbins, he had a thing he was talking about that he wanted to be able to every day put in an effort that was just more than anyone would expect anyone to reasonably be able to do. And so they call it Kanai, okay? And so you can look it up, I don't want to give his program out, but the point is, he really wanted to be able to do more than anyone would reasonably expect anyone to do. And that's what he did. So it's important. Just really, again, there's no secret. The secret is you have to do what others do. The shortcuts, the get rich quick schemes, the lose weight quick schemes, the learn something quick schemes, they don't exist. Anyone who is able to show a skill, to show a high level of something, is the person who said, you know what, I'm going to put away the doubt, I'm going to put away watching TV, put away being normal, because I want to explore life and to give my best in this life. Now, if you think about life is long. When you look at the regrets, it's like, you've been in this situation for a long time. You've been in this situation for longer than you wanted to, because you are not willing to step out and do what you have to do. But it's also very short too. People who get a lot out of life, a lot of them don't live long. like Martin Luther King or JFK, people like that. They didn't live long. Look what they did in their life. They got a lot done in their life. So think about every single day as a new beginning. It's like every day you wake up, it's a new beginning of life. That yesterday died. The day you had yesterday, it died, and you can never go back. And all you have is today, and you have tomorrow. But we really never see tomorrow because when you wake up, it's always today. So how do you control your life? How do you make life like predictable? Well, it's by making goals. Writing down your goals is important, but it's something that I've learned to do, and I'm going to share with you. It's planting a seed. Planting a seed is not the same as just making a goal. Okay. Now, when you have a crop, you want to put something in the ground and you want it to grow. Well, you do that by making a design of what you want and really make it a really detailed example of what you want. And then you place that in your psyche and say, that's what I want. And then you make a goal sheet of saying, this is what I planted. So when a farmer plants something, he plants the seed, and he puts a marker saying what he planted. So you might say, I planted a certain vegetable here, vegetable here, vegetable here. So you have all the markers of what's inside, but you don't have him going inside to see the seed. So when you have your goals, be specific, be greatly detailed in what you describe, and then write it out, and then just plant it in your psyche and never look at it again. But on your list, write down your goal. So you can say, yes, this is what I'm focusing on. So I know that I'm going towards it, and you start to see it. That's what you got to do. So I hope this video helped you to really try to do more, be more, and have more, because this is your life. This is your time, and you shine. And the person you become will be the person who you always wanted to be. Or if you do nothing, you'll be the person who regrets what you had intended to do, but didn't have enough of a self-worth to do it. So do it. Let's do this. Let's get this thing done, because you only have so much time. But if you do what you have to do, you will live forever, because your efforts will continue to benefit those who come after. Thank you very much, and have a great day.